to you first, just because you're closer and I don't want to walk too much tonight. You asked the question about ADHD. The report came out today. The minister said he hadn't quite read it, but he does think it should be a focus. What did you make of the answer?
Look, I mean, I wish I could have heard a bit more, if they had any more steps. Obviously, they don't at the moment, but it was, pretty good to, showing to know that they did have some kind of look at it at the moment, but yeah.
And I've got to bring you in. You said he did most of the work. Was it really difficult to navigate the system?
It was. Frequent appointments that you had to go to and access and the wait lists and the wait times were quite a significant thing, all the while sort of struggling with school. So it'd be great to see faster diagnosis available for folks. And
since the diagnosis happened, has school got easier?
It definitely has. I mean, being able to provide that at, with my school, I've benefited from support such as timeout's a big one. So if I feel overwhelmed in class, that also plays into the autism too. But, really just in general, and even, going to primary school, I did have, some of the, teachers and staff did help me find those different support groups in the school.
And must be easier as a parent too after the diagnosis, right?
Oh, quite significantly easier, yeah. Yes.
Now, yes, everyone wants to talk down here. Don't worry, none of us are going to trip. Yep.
I would have liked to have heard another perspective. I spent a long time as a mental health clinician, working for state and Commonwealth governments and in private practice. And my own view is there is a pathologizing of many behaviours and mental health disorders as opposed to major mental illnesses. And I think it's important it would have been good, I think, to have heard the other view that ADHD is not in the category of a major mental illness, rather it's a mental health disorder. So I think we could have explored the other side, not downplaying individual people's own experience, but more broadly about pathologizing something. Like, it's almost like I have peers my age at 65 saying, we're sure you've got ADHD. It's like a trendy thing, not for you. Please don't think this is against you. But I would have liked to have heard a bit more of the other side of pathologizing a mental health disorder.
So when the speakers discuss Gaza, it's almost as if they don't recognise that we see so much on social media that contradicts what leaders and media organisations are saying.
Going to see a doctor about a child who's got ADHD is extremely expensive. It's minimum $500 a visit, and then of course there's the medication, then there's the follow-up with the psychologist. So it is very expensive, especially if you have maybe a couple of kids who might have it, or even one of their parents, I'm not saying me. So I do think that it should be a lot cheaper to go to the doctor, and I also think it should be a lot more available to kids who haven't, and parents haven't got that money.
It is very expensive, which is what the Senate committee found. There's extra hands now. They've multiplied.
Hi, I just wanted to observe that the panel played very nicely today. At no point did it look like anyone was going to jump over the table and start throwing punches. A small part of me is disappointed, but I'm mostly impressed by their maturity and...
Aren't you a bit sick of fighting?
Oh, if it happened tonight right in front of me, I'd probably still be excited. But no, it was a very mature, balanced, sensible discussion.
I'm big on respectful, non-fighty kind of panels myself. Disagreement's good because that's healthy, but you don't have to throw punches, right?
I'm surprised that we had a half-hour discussion on Gaza and the topic of hostages I don't think got raised once. Why? Isn't that one of the most critical issues at play right now, one of the most urgent issues? Like, we talked a bit of history and a bit of this and a bit of that. What are we going to do about the hostage issue?
No. The hostages are stuck.
Yes. Very stuck, and shouldn't that be central to the conversation? So I felt like going, oi, who's going to talk about this?
Oh, I should have brought you in, but I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I agree with that hostages should be central, but I do want to get a bit foundational here and just remind everyone that this conflict didn't start on October 7. It started in 1948.